And now we will hear from Brandon Higgins, our registrar over advising.
Hey guys, as Dustin said, my name is Brandon Higgins, and I'm the registrar and director of advising at TC. And just wanted to give you some insight as to how you can contact an academic advisor, and really anybody in Enrollment Services who's going to be able to help you if you have questions. And so, if you're wanting to get in contact with one of us, the number that you see there on the PowerPoint, 903-823-3012. We have a gal named Tiffany who probably is going to answer the phone, and what she does is she's going to ask you some questions just to kind of figure out what it is that you're needing, and she's going to direct you to the appropriate person, whether that be a recruiter or someone in the EOC program or an academic advisor. Just kind of depends on where you are in the process. She's going to determine that and get you to who you need to be talking with. And we just ask, to keep in mind that we're getting a huge number of phone calls right now. So if you do call, please leave a voicemail. If somebody doesn't answer the call, what we'll see sometimes is people will hang up and continue calling. And I guess eventually we'll get the call. But if you'll leave a voicemail, Tiffany's calling those back every day, with the exception of those that come in after hours or at the very end of the day. So if you'll leave a voicemail, we'll have somebody give you a call back and get you on the right path and get you with an advisor. One thing that we do is we offer appointments as well. So if you'll call that same number, and it may be that all the advisors are taken up for the day, or they're all on a phone call. Basically from the time we sign in to the time we finish the day, the advisors are on the phone most of that time. So the best, most reliable way for you to be able to get in contact with an advisor is to call that number and have Tiffany or whoever else picks up the phone make you an appointment. And the way that that'll work is we'll schedule you a time, we'll get good contact information for you and everything, and at that scheduled time, we will give you a call back and go over whatever it is that you need to go over. So she may get you an appointment with a recruiter, she may get you an appointment with an advisor. Either way, they're going to call you back as close to that time as possible. Keep in mind, sometimes the appointments do go long. As we've noticed, these remote appointments can take a little bit longer. So we will call you back. It may be a little bit before your appointment, it may be right on time, or it may be a little bit after. Just keep in mind, you're going to be getting a phone call from a number you don't really recognize. So don't ignore it. Don't hit the shady button on us. Be sure you answer, and if not, we'll leave you a message. But it may be difficult for you to get back in contact with the advisor if they move on to their next appointment or whatnot. So certainly keep that in mind. One of the things that the advisors are going to be able to do, and one of the questions we actually get a lot right now, is about testing. You may be familiar with testing, the TSI assessment that students in the state of Texas have to take in order to enroll in college level courses. One of the things that the advisor is going to talk with you about is if you need to take those tests. You may have college coursework elsewhere that's going to exempt you from testing, or you may have some ACT scores or something like that might exempt you from testing, or other circumstances. So they're going to have that conversation with you and see if you need to do some testing. And Tanya Blaze later on is going to dive more into detail about what that looks like. But talking with the advisor, they'll be able to write you a testing ticket. They'll forward that along to the testing center, who will then call you about scheduling a time for you to test remotely right now, as our testing center isn't currently open to the public. So we're doing all of our appointments online, and we'll be able to test remotely. You do have to have a camera and a microphone on your computer in order for us to do the remote proctoring, but we'll be able to do that. And then once you finish your test, those scores will go back to the advisor who wrote the ticket for you, and then you'll be able to contact that advisor to go ahead and talk about the results and what the next steps are as far as enrollment. So those are the main things that I wanted to cover. If you guys have any detailed questions or anything, happy to chime in on those. Just drop them in the chat, and we'll get those taken care of for you. Thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you so much, Brandon. So yes, we'll take a brief moment right here to answer any questions that you all may have. So just please send them in via chat. All righty. So we do have another question here. Where would you enroll and where do you pay?
So the enrollment will occur basically over the phone. What the advisor will do is they'll talk with you on the phone. We'll kind of hash out a schedule and everything for you. And at that point, basically they'll put you in the classes. They'll send you an email with your schedule on it for you to confirm that that's the schedule you intended to have. You'll respond back to that, and then you'll be set at that point. And we can make any changes or anything as well.
Thank you. And Brandon, another one for you. Are all classes currently online?
So our summer one and May mini classes will be taking place online. The thing to remember about those summer one classes are there are some that are taught traditionally online where you're not going to have meeting times necessarily, but we do have some classes that we're considering a hybrid course where you actually are going to sign in at the designated time as if you were attending the class, and you'll have a Teams meeting basically with your instructor, and they'll do the lecture, take questions and everything in a similar way that you would have if you were in the classroom. It'll just be online. So we do have the strictly online where you complete your work kind of more at your own pace. And then you'll have those Teams meetings in the classes that have a designated time where you'll have to sign in and complete your work in that way.
Great, great. I just want to voice a few of the comments that are happening right now in our chat box. So Brandon did speak about summer one courses either meeting online or in a hybrid setting. But as of right now, summer two could still be on campus. Obviously, we do not have directive on that right now. It would be up to state regulations. So everybody keep that in mind. Also, I do see someone that asked about having to have an online schedule. The good thing about Texarkana College is we consider ourselves a college for everyone, meaning whether you need to come strictly in the mornings, strictly in the evenings, or whether you don't have time to step foot on campus but you still want to earn a degree or certification, we can help you with that. We have strictly online classes. We would just need to get you with an advisor and let you speak with them on a one-on-one basis and see what best fits your schedule. So y'all do keep that in mind. Okay, so we do have a question here. What are you guys doing about classes that really require hands-on learning?
Yeah, I can provide a little bit of information. It'll depend on the program, I think. What the workforce programs are doing right now, because for the summer, they have already started. They started this week. So they're doing a lot of their lecture work and things like that. And they're trying to provide as much information as they can as with regard to that hands-on stuff. But the workforce program and the nursing programs are two of the first ones that really are going to push on campus as quickly as we can. Of course, that depends on what the governor says and what local regulations say on that. But as soon as we can get back on campus, they're going to get those programs on campus in a hands-on learning environment as quickly as possible. So, still a little bit of uncertainty on that, of course, but they are going to try to get on campus as quickly as they can. And certainly, hopefully by summer two, we'll be able to, which is in July, be able to get that taken care of if everything goes according to plan. Sure. So yes, the state sets certain exemptions and standards and everything as far as TSI testing is concerned. One of those exemptions is for students who have either an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited institution of higher education. So if you do have an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree and you're wanting to pursue maybe a different career path or need to take some classes for a different type of certification or so forth, then we would just need your transcript from that institution that shows that you have earned that degree, and we can use that to exempt you from any testing. And even if you don't have an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree, if you have coursework from another institution that is equivalent to our college level coursework, then we can use that in order to exempt you from testing in that particular area as well. So an advisor can kind of help you navigate through that process and view your transcript, and they'll help to determine whether or not you need testing based on what you've taken previously.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brandon. We do have another one that says, if I've attended TC before and I've already taken the TSI test, would I need to retake those?
So the TSI test scores are valid for 5 years. What you have to do, once you've tested and you've taken a course in a particular area, so let's say you test in math, and then you end up taking a course in math, like college algebra, for instance, a college level course, and you make a passing grade, a C or better in that college level course, then you're good for the rest of time. But if you don't take any college level courses, say you just tested and then decided not to attend for whatever reason, those scores do expire after 5 years, and we would have to reassess you if that's the case.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brandon.